And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
This is one of two reviews for the new Dungeon Twister Prison. If you already are a fan of Dungeon Twister, then I recommend you go check out my other review. I talk about how this works with those buying it before. But if you've never played before, then check this out. You don't need to have any other Dungeon Twisters that have played this game. This is kind of a reboot of the system, although it is compatible with the old stuff. You can use the old stuff, but this is all you need to play. I'm going to talk a little bit about how the game plays and explain why Dungeon Twister is one of my favorite games. Each side starts with 8 figures. These are your team, and if you buy expansions, you have more people, but you're always going to play with 8 people per side. And in this game, you each start with the 8 same people who happen to be a Banshee, a Colossus, a Backstabber, a Cleric, a Naga, a Telepath, a Mechanorc, and a Wizard. Each of these people have a specific stat, which is shown on a card that you'll have that will tell you their stats for their movement, and a stat for their combat. So, for example, the Naga can move 6 and has a combat of 2, while the Colossus has only a movement of 2, but a combat of 5. And so each of these people also have special abilities that they'll be using over the course of the game. This is the dungeon that you will play in each game. You start with 8 of these tiles. They come apart like this and can be rotated in all different directions. And you'll be putting them together to be making a random dungeon. They'll start face down, so you don't know exactly what is where. But as you explore, they'll be turned face up, and eventually you'll see the whole dungeon. Some mad wizard made this dungeon years ago, and you are playing as creatures that are trapped in this wizard. You are trying to get 5 points to win the game. You get 1 point for each enemy person that you kill, and you get 1 point if you manage to take one of your characters and get it all the way to the opponent's end line. So there's 2 different ways to get points. You can try to do speed, or try to do combat, or try to do both. Now, originally, you will be putting your characters on the board basically as a bunch of tokens. For example, you can see here's the token for the Colossus. You're going to start with 4 characters on your end line back here. And then the other 4 of your characters will be spread throughout there, along with different items that they can pick up, like a telescoping spear, or a fireball wand, or a key. And you'll be placing these characters around, and on your turn, you will then take a card and play that card, and that card gives you a certain number of actions that you can play on that turn. So say, for example, on my turn I play this card, which gives me 4 actions to play. There's a 3-action card, a 4-action card, a 5-action card, and a 2-action card. Each time you play one of those, you must play it until you've used up all 4 of those action cards, and you'll get it back. What can you do with an action? Well, one of your actions can be moving your character. Another action can be fighting someone else. Another action could be opening a door. Or, since it's called Dungeon Twister, if you're on top of one of these turnstile things, let me show you a board close up. In the middle of each board, or somewhere on each board, is some gears, and if you're on that board, you can twist it and turn the board, which will allow people to go move around because there's walls. And twisting these boards, you can even twist the matching board. Boards have numbers on the 39. There's a 39 over here, and you can twist the matching board and cause problems for your opponents there. But a lot of the times, you're going to be next to another character, and you will initiate combat. Now, each character has a combat value, but players also will each play a combat card. Here's a combat 3 card, a combat 5. But whenever you play a combat card, it's discarded and you don't get it back. So you might end up eventually having to play your combat 0, which you get back no matter what, and every time you play it. Whoever wins in combat knocks out the other person, or they're wounded and their character is just put down as a disc. And then if you knock out the disc, that person is dead. So it takes 2 turns to kill someone. And you can even gang up on somebody who might be more powerful, like the Colossus, or use special abilities. Each character has different special abilities, like the Naga. He can go through arrow slits on the board. The Colossus can break down doors. The Backstabber can open doors. And the game even comes with little markers to show whether or not doors are open or closed. Like, for example, this shows a door is open. If you flip it over, it can show that the door has been broken down, because if you find the key, you can unlock and close doors behind you. And so the game is very strategic. There's no luck in the game other than the initial setup, where you put your pieces on the board. After that, You're moving pieces around. Combat is kind of a bluffing ordeal as you try to, when are you going to play your best combat cards? You play it now, or are you going to save it for later? Moving your piece. When do you move guys around? Should you use your Colossus and keep them back to defend your home line, or should you put them in the middle and try and kill people? Who should you run over the end line? Because if you run someone over the end line, you get an extra point, but you also lose them for purposes of combat. The game also comes with a pile of purple discs. These are used for a solitaire version, and the game comes with a very good solitaire method in which you can basically determine what level you want to play against and see if you can make it through and score 5 points on your own. I don't know why I like Dungeon Twister. Well, actually, I shouldn't say I don't know why I don't like it as much. I do. It's basically the variety. Yes, there's 8 characters in this game, but even if this was just the basic game, and I love all the extra characters that the other expansions add, still, it's knowing how to use these characters. Every game's going to feel differently because these boards are switched out. Each character has to be used in a special way. Like, for example, boards have to be rotated in a certain direction, but the Mechanort can rotate them in both directions. And knowing when to rotate a piece, you can rotate your most powerful figure right next to an enemy's weak character to deliver that final blow, or rotate your weak character out of danger, or manage to get the right equipment to the right person, get the fireball wand to the wizard who can then kill anyone that he has in line of sight. All this really makes for a tense game. In fact, you may have to put a time limit on turns because you really could sit there and scrutinize it. Most people recommend a 2-minute time limit per turn, and in tournament play that's actually how the game works, but it's a lot of fun. And if you like it and enjoy it, you'll find that there's expansion to add more and more characters to make the variety of this game endless. But that's neat. They have some nice miniatures. They're not painted, but they're still easy enough to tell apart. It comes with nice, good quality cards. The solitaire variant is good, and it comes in a nice sized box that has an insert where you can put all the pieces in very easily. Dungeon Twister Prison, it might sound like a fantasy game, but it plays more like a strategic, almost chess-like game, and I highly recommend it. One of my favorite games.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.